Alabama, Florida State. Years Georgia opened with Clemson, and then Oregon and LSU and Les Miles opened with Oregon and smacked them around. Alabama knocked around USC and Wisconsin and Vatech for years. The SEC fears nobody.
Stop it. I love the SEC. Put them on. By the way, if you just had an only SEC college football playoff show, it would be absolutely wonderful. How about that out there, SEC backers?
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
So the Mets, they went through a rough stretch where they were terrible, but, they win the series versus the Mariners. They're kind of turning things around just a little bit. Like, the offense has been there. You said they were in a playoff race. It's tough to say, they need to win. It's like trying to trust teams in different sports at the end of the season. But the hitters are hitting right now. Lean into the Mets, lean into the Phillies. These teams have something to play for, and they're cooking right now.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
I think what you saw last year is it's tough to say, it's projectable. But I do think it's something that when you're taking shots here, you're looking for a bye-week coverage wide receiver on your roster or a guy that has upside who's young enough to grow into more of a role. I think the development of Bo Nix was stunningly good last year. If we can build on that again this year, I think Marvin Mims is a really good selection as the 57th wide receiver off the board.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
What does he do after he hits the home run? He walks over to the fan and he pats him on the back and gives him a high five. This is the same fan that's been going after him for the entire game. Dave Roberts after the game saying, hey, look, every once in a while, it's kind of funny to see Shohei, who's got this wonderful personality that we almost never see. It was great to see him do that with the fans.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
Top of the hour, power right here on the early line on the SportsGrid Network, and away we go as we wait for NFL Week number 1 to kick off tonight in Philadelphia between the Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles. No more talk, no more smoke, no more bulletin board material. It's time to play these games. We'll have a game tonight on a Thursday night. We have a game on a Friday night. We have that plethora of games on a Sunday, a beautiful Sunday night game, and then a Monday night game. The things that we love early in the season, there are no bye weeks. Like, oh, man, 6 teams are on a bye week. That's going to limit the action in the afternoon, and they give you a terrible Sunday 4:05 and 4:35 game. Not the case, people. We are getting down to business in week number 1, Joe. The vibes are high. We carry the people through, and we set the table for the SportsGrid day and get after it in style.
Think about this. We got football tonight, NFL. We got NFL tomorrow. We got 2 college football games tomorrow, heading into week 2 of the college football season. We got, it is that time of year. Celebrate, folks. Celebrate, because that's what it's all about.
Celebrate good times. Come on. We got the NFL back in our life. But also understand this, Joe. Like the 7 at 7, the hottest topics across the sports landscape, does deal in commercials. Like we have commercials on the show. We just can't go for a full hour and not have any commercial breaks. And we're not even talking about commercial breaks for the Red Zone, but there probably will be more commercials this year. Get ready for the Whopper commercials. Get ready for Charles Schwab. Get ready to watch a lot of touchdowns. It's okay, people. We'll make it.
Yeah, we will. In fact, if you think really hard to last season, you'll remember, there were commercials then as well. They've been rolling them out steadily over the last year during the Red Zone where they split the screen and one side was football, the other side was the commercial. Yeah, that's how much you noticed it. If you're mad at this, then you don't even remember you had commercials last year.
Like, we got to get to a different pay platform on these too as well, Joe. Like, if you have YouTube, which I have, like, I have YouTube Premium. I can't imagine myself living without YouTube Premium. Like, I see other people like, oh, no, put this song on. Like, why is there a commercial playing? Put this podcast on. Why are there 17 commercial breaks at this point? Well, if you pay a little bit more, you don't get commercials. I just wish there was an option always for that, whether it's the NFL, college football, college basketball, but we understand that can't take place. Can you imagine if we all got together as a nation and everybody chipped in $1 and was like, okay, That's what, $330 million a week that we will give to the NFL so we have no commercial breaks and we just play football. Wouldn't we do that, Joe? If they told Joe, you have to pay $1 a week in taxes so the NFL doesn't have any commercial breaks and all you get are football games straight through like it's a high school game. Oh, my goodness, sign me up, Joe. Why do we have this? Why do we have this?
I agree, but here's the reality of it, Donnie. How much are we willing to bet right now that by week 4, there will be zero conversations about how the red zone sucks because of the commercials? How much you want to make a bet that people will get over it? The NFL knows you'll get over it. You'll continue to watch it, and all will be well because you did so last year with the commercials and didn't say anything.
Exactly. And by the way, all like you're talking about like commercial breaks and people get angry. There were people out there, Joe Ranier, that told me, you're going to ruin baseball by putting a pitch clock in. Go do me a favor. Go back and watch a replay of a Major League Baseball game without the pitch clock. You can't do it. You say, how did I make it through 2 innings at that point? So sometimes change is good. I'm not saying this is good, but we will get used to it here. You know, changes aren't good. Changes to your offensive line. You know, the teams that win Super Bowls and make deep playoff runs, like, wow, these guys have started 17 straight games together. Nobody's been injured. Before you get to the season, you're already injured. That's the New York Jets. Elijah Vera Tucker goes down. That is a terrible injury on a team that's just looking to see what they have as a foundation this year. And that rocks the foundation.
And this guy really showed up in training camp, Don. I mean, they named him captain here. He's on the last year of his rookie deal, too, which is just brutal because he lost 22 and 23 because of injuries. Now he's back. He was fully healthy. He was bulldozing guys. They loved him. And now he's going to lose this season as well. And what a payday he could have had if he could have stayed healthy. It's just terrible all the way around.
No, you have a payday whether you stay healthy or not. That's Kawhi Leonard here, no-show job or not. You saw the memes going around the Sopranos with their no-show jobs, sitting around their television show. Well, Kawhi Leonard signed a $7 million a year contract with a tree company that we believe is defunct with no actual employees or anything, backed by Steve Ballmer as a way to say, hey, Kawhi, we can offer you the max, so can a lot of teams, but what happens if we actually the plus max here and get you some endorsement deals that maybe don't even exist, Joe?
You know, one of the benefits of being a billionaire, Donnie, is that you get to invent fake companies and skirt the system all day long, whether it be the NBA, NFL, whatever it is. It doesn't matter. You can create whatever you want and just give guys however much money you want and not have to worry about any repercussions because that is the life of a billionaire. Unreal.
Like, he could have been a little bit smarter. Like, he could have said, you know what, I'm going to, I don't know, buy a car dealership and make Kawhi Leonard do commercials for a fake car dealership that will just set up, put 100 cars in the lot, but a tree planting service that's like, you know what's perfect here? Put Kawhi Leonard as a spokesperson, a guy who never likes to speak or never likes to be in public and never's actually had to do a commercial or noticed it during any of his social media efforts here. Tremendous stuff, NBA, but don't worry. They'll be like, hey, don't you guys know that the NFL's starting tonight? Nothing to see here, and away you go at that point. You know what else the NBA is doing here? Trying to fix the All-Star game by absolutely breaking it even more. Growing up throughout the test of time, East versus West, your superstars, our superstars, will play hard, and away we go. Now we're having 3 teams in a round-robin tournament. How did we get here, Joe?
We've gotten here because over the years, with the amount of money the NBA is paying these players, they've gotten to the point, Donnie, where they don't care. Everyone loves one another. Everyone's friends. There is no villains anymore. This is not what it used to be like. There are no more Kobe's or Jordans or guys that would rather rip your face off than lose to you on a basketball court. Everyone here is just trying to figure out, how do I not get hurt? How do I want to be ready for the postseason. That is the generation of NBA players we're dealing with.
How about the Giants, winners of 10 of 11 games, including a 10-8 victory over the Colorado Rockies? Some life back into the Giants season.
I mean, it's unbelievable. Could they be that team, Donnie, that gets hot at the right moment and makes a run at this? I still don't trust the pitching, but the bats, well, they could probably hit their way into a postseason berth.
Yeah, everybody loves. Go open up that offense in Colorado, see if you can carry it through. That's the way you can do it. Roman Anthony, he ain't taking any swings or scoring 10 runs or knocking in RBIs anytime soon. He's down for the rest of the regular season and possibly for the remaining part of 2025. Tough blow there for the Red Sox.
Yeah, that really does stink here. I mean, they brought him up. The kid was really starting to come into his own. He was a big part of what was going on, and now we got a left oblique strain. This is not the first time we've heard of this injury here. We've gotten this a lot this season. I just don't know how you're 23, 24 years old. How are we getting oblique injuries here, Donnie, in Major League Baseball? What am I missing?
Stretch, people. You got to stretch out there, which includes Ish Swiatek. Maybe she should have stretched more. She's down and out in the U.S. Open as we get closer to the finals on the men's and the women's side.
Absolutely crazy. Should be good, though. The finals are shaping up, both men and women's, which should be very interesting.
Yeah, should be very interesting here as we take a look at the 7-7, the hottest topics across the sports landscape. Covered that. You know what else we have to cover coming up here again? The Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles, live from Lincoln Financial Field tonight. Game number 1 of the NFL season kicks off. The Eagles are going to drop another banner and bring out that Lombardi Trophy for one last look at the 2024 season. And away we go into 2025. Let's hit that game next. Yes, sir!
Enter into the magical world of McLuck.com, where even the smallest of spins can win real cash prizes. Adventure into over 1,000 of the best Vegas-style slot games. So what are you waiting for? Unlock your free welcome offer today. Join the fun where winners play and players win.
We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune in to Game Time Decisions weekdays on SportsGrid.
This is the moment every fan waits for. The countdown's over. The road to kickoff has begun.
Play is here to stay.
I'm not going to name names, Kevin.
From win totals to player props, from division races to MVP debates, we've got eyes on every camp and data feeding 24/7, breaking down every angle across the league. Every pick, every edge, every line that matters. SportsGrid. Your road to kickoff starts now.
Did you know sportsbooks tend to draw up tighter bet lines for events that get even more bettors, like championship games or major matchups? My tip? Try betting on less popular sports. You might have a better shot at beating those odds. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
Oh, let's get after it here. In Philadelphia, prime time tonight. All the lights will be shining down on Lincoln Financial Field, and 65,000 plus Philadelphia Eagles fans will be cheering on the dropping of banner number 2 and Super Bowl number 2. The funny part is you'll do it in front of the Dallas Cowboys, who haven't had any success since 1995. Hard to believe, or maybe it isn't, where Jerry Jones has told us repeatedly, wait a second. Football's about winning games. I thought it was just about being in the headlines and making a lot of money off the field. Well, that's apparently what the Dallas Cowboys like to do, and they've been very good at that. They're just not very good at winning on the football field in the biggest moments when it means the most here. So when we set the table for tonight's NFL game in Philadelphia to kick off the season, we actually got a little bit of line movement out here, Joe, as we were talking about the 8.5s across the betting landscape. DraftKings, BetMGM, Bet365, even in Vegas. 8.5s to 8s were across the board. I just saw DraftKings here in New Jersey go to 7.5 at a -115 price. The total's still sitting at 47.5. But do we see buybacks here, Joe, on game day where it says, whoa, 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 8.5 is a little bit too much?
Absolutely. I mean, that was so artificially inflated over the last couple of days. Mind you that prior to the Micah Parsons trade, it was down to 6.5. Now we're talking about, okay, so they trade Micah Parsons, but they get a absolute, 3-time Pro Bowler run stuffer in the middle of the line now to help them do Cowboys exactly what they couldn't do last year, which was stop the run. And somehow it's worth, 2 points? Like 8.5 was a ridiculous number for game one, especially with the likes of Ferguson and CeeDee Lamb and now Pickens and Dak. Everybody's healthy on the offense of the Cowboys. It does not. This will close, Donnie, 7.5, maybe even closer to 7 is my prediction when it's all said and done.
Buybacks, people. If we take a look here, the 47.5 is the total in this game. Conditions to start the game, mostly cloudy, giving way to drizzle in the 10 o'clock hour is a possibility. Not really that big of a deal. You take a look at the wind speeds tonight, Joe. Starts around 10 miles an hour, tapers off to 7 to 6 miles an hour late in that game. So no real conditions that you worry about. And quite frankly, mid-70s to low 70s throughout the game. That's good for opening night. Like, you worry about those conditions on, like, Sunday afternoon in September where it's so hot and guys cramp up a lot. We'll see if that makes a difference. But for me, looking at these numbers, I don't think we have too many problems with that total here. That 47.5 is interesting to me. So, again, the public does like to bet overs. We understand that. But that line sits down at 47.5. At game time, Joe, do we push that higher to 48, or could we see any buybacks to 46.5 back where that opening number began?
Donnie, I didn't understand how we got to 8.5 and the total didn't move. It didn't make any sense to me, but now we're starting to see, obviously, that come back down to reality. And yeah, I don't know that I can honestly sweat out an under in this game here, but I can tell you, I think there's a couple other ways to go about this game if you think one team or the other is going to hang around. I think if you think this is a blowout by Philadelphia, well, then you're probably looking at the under because Dallas will not be able to contribute enough. But if you think Dallas can keep this thing close, I don't see how they're going to keep it close in a 20-17 game, Donnie. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, and also from a Philadelphia Eagles perspective, where they're healthy coming into the season, but you see a couple different tactics of how these teams start to approach these new, preseasons into the regular season. Cincinnati never liked to play their starters, getting out the sluggish, slow starts. They said, that's enough. We're going to play our starters a good portion here in games 1, 2, and 3. And maybe they're a better team because of it. They didn't suffer any injuries. Nobody's actually on the injury report for Cincinnati. But the Philadelphia Eagles, Devontae Smith had a little bit of back issues during training camp. A.J. Brown missed like 3 weeks with a hamstring injury. Didn't see Saquon Barkley or Jalen Hurts. Now you're expected to perform. Now also understand this. They're professionals playing at the highest level. They've been there, done that. They've been going through hundreds of hours of practice. They should be ready for the game. But nothing, Joe, can simulate like being in a football game on opening night with all the lights and the TV and the adulation coming down. I wonder if that is starting to a slow start or maybe a fresh start. Let's look at the quarterback competition tonight between Jalen Hurts and Dak Prescott. Dak didn't play much football last year against the Philadelphia Eagles as the Eagles hammered them. But you took a Jalen Hurts, a 212.5 passing number versus Dak Prescott's 248.5. It does make sense. The ground game is there for the Eagles. I don't think the ground game is going to be all that effective for the Dallas Cowboys. Maybe just keeping the Eagles pass rush at bay for most parts of it. But which type of quarterback props would you like to play tonight? Rushing numbers we went over early in the show, passing numbers for a quarterback, passing touchdowns for a quarterback. Which way do you think you're going on that?
Yeah, so that's the interesting one, Donnie. And again, everything correlates here. Don't bet against yourself in the prop betting market to go against what you think the outcome of this game is going to be. But, I'm looking at some of the numbers here for the passing touchdowns, right? And listen, from a Philadelphia perspective, if I like Devonta Smith, if I like A.J. Brown, if I like these guys to find the end zone, well, then over 1.5, I believe, passing touchdowns for Jalen Hurts is still plus money. And that would not shock me if that's the case here, where maybe Dallas sells out on the run to stop it, and that gives him an opportunity to find some open guys in the end zone. So, yeah, I don't mind the over 1.5 touchdowns for Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, we're looking at some of these totals in this game, too, because it's 47.5. Team totals on each side. I mean, don't make it too appetizing for the Eagles. It's 28.5 right now, minus 118 at FanDuel, which means you're probably looking at 30-plus points. That's 4 touchdowns and a field goal. Can they get there? Sure they can. They've done that multiple times last year. Looking at the Dallas Cowboys, they're 19.5 at a minus 115 price at the FanDuel Sportsbook, so you're factoring on 3 touchdowns out of the Dallas Cowboys. I'm just interested to see, like, the game flow, because sometimes, Joe, where you don't quite necessarily know what you're going to get out of either side. Now, they are healthy. They're ready to go, and Saquon Barkley could have a 55-yard touchdown run on the opening possession, and away they go. But for me, this could be one of those where you might escape in that first quarter, 3-0. Like, whoa, look how far this total is down now, knowing that eventually these guys are going to get untracked on both sides.
And if memory serves me correctly, like one of the better bets for Philadelphia last year was, I believe, the first quarter. I believe the first quarter they came out, or the second quarter.
Yeah.
There was one quarter in the first half in which they just absolutely dominated across the board. So if you think that that trend holds true, maybe look early for Philadelphia in this one.
Building an early lead, like what would be the shocker? Like the Cowboys up 14-3. We've seen crazy things happen across the sports landscape, particularly in the NFL early in the season. And maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. But you know what? We're gonna hit all those angles from a prop perspective. Running backs, wide receivers. What do we think happens in this game? Much more on the Eagles Cowboys coming up next, right here on the Early Line. No better place to be than SportsGrid. College football today, right here on the SportsGrid Network. Joe, Lisi, Donnie, right side for the entire season, Joe, on Saturday. This is your place. This is your place to be, Joe.
I love it. I tell you. And it's flying. Show's flying. We're on an hour already. I can't wait. We're licking our chops for these Rat Pack games. And it's a great slate.
Look at you on the screen right
Look
now.
like a little rat.
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
Matthew Golden, one of my favorite prospects coming out of Texas. He had an incredible game against Arizona last year in the college football playoffs. Just, big touchdown after big touchdown, big moment after big moment. I loved him all year. And I was a little, skeptical at first, like, okay, well, it's kind of a crowded wide receiver room. And guess what? It's getting less crowded because everybody's hurt in Green Bay. Matthew Golden is the truth. He's the only guy healthy enough to play.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid. This is the moment every fan waits for. The countdown's over. The road to kickoff has begun.
Play is here to stay.
I'm not going to name names, Kevin.
From win totals to player props, from division races to MVP debates, we've got eyes on every camp and data feeding 24/7, breaking down every angle across the league. Every pick, every edge, every line that matters. SportsGrid. Your road to kickoff starts now.
Props, and more props. The Early Line on the SportsGrid Network. Donnie Rightside and Joe Ranieri breaking down the Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles to open up the NFL season tonight. And some of those props that we love are the touchdown scoring market, Joe. Saquon Barkley, he's up to a minus 210 price. Jalen Hurts, he's a minus 165 price. Those are the only two players tonight in juice territory. Everybody else is plus money. So let's just start there with the juicy guys. Saquon Barkley, Jalen Hurts. I think they both scored, Joe. I do.
Say, Donnie, it's kind of hard. The tush push is in effect, right?
Yes.
So just answer yourself this. Do you think the tush push is involved in this game tonight at the 1 or 2 yard line? If the answer is yes, it's a Jalen Hurts anytime touchdown. So let's just move on from that. Kind of hard to think that we won't see Saquon involved in this game in some sort of big way here. So, yeah, if you think Philadelphia controls time of possession and is all about the ground game here tonight, then those are the only two guys I would look at in the prop betting market here tonight.
I'll tell you, it's so, because you say, like, oh, I don't know what's going to happen, but let's understand how this game plays out. And let's just say the Philadelphia Eagles are in the mid-20s, right, which means 3 touchdowns. I think A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, we'll get to them in just a moment. One of those two guys scores a touchdown. I'll explain my theory on that. But, like, the Philadelphia Eagles on the 2 yard line, they are going to tush push. And the fact of the offseason where you're on a primetime game where they tried to get rid of it, they would love nothing more to probably score 4 times with a tush push tonight, just to rub it in the face of the other teams and the NFL. But understand this too. Like Saquon Barkley getting a handoff at the 9 yard line, fresh to start the season against not a great defense, Joe. Like, it just feels like they both will score. But again, you're not getting any plus money prices for a touchdown. It makes it hard to bet. You now take a look at A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith. A.J. Brown is a plus 155, and Devonta Smith is a plus 180. So I look at it saying, okay, if you think both Barkley and Hurts score, I think there's a chance that A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith both score, but there's only so many touchdowns to go around. So if I ask you, Joe, I think I'm going to get 1 touchdown pass out of starting quarterback Jalen Hurts, which I think he has a chance to throw 2. One of those 2 guys is getting it. And you're just playing the odds saying, okay, well, if Devontae gets it, it's plus 180. Well, if A.J. Brown gets it, it's plus 155. You just need one of those 2 guys to get a touchdown. It's plus money. I think one of those 2 guys is going to get a touchdown tonight.
Yeah, and I got, another thing, too. We got to keep in mind, we do have a new OC in Philadelphia. Although he was part of the staff last year, he is new in calling plays for this team this year. So I think, I was looking in this market, Donnie, and I'm trying to figure out if I think this game is pretty much crazy at halftime and Dallas is playing from behind. Well, then how about A.J. Brown or Devonta Smith early in this game? Like a A.J. Brown first half touchdown, because apparently he was targeted a hell of a lot more early in games last year than he was in the second half. So they kind of used him as the guy to get out in front and play their game early. And then they kind of coasted with the running game in the second half. So those kinds of passing props may be best in the first half, Donnie.
We know it's hard to get 2,000 yards rushing in an NFL season. Not that many people have done that. And Saquon Barkley did it last year. And now you're saying, what can he do this year? Rested, healthy, ready, destroyed the Dallas Cowboys last time he played them last year. There's no direct correlation, but did have a great success. Almost was looking to break the record in that game. Saquon's 93.5. You know as well as I do. Saquon's going to carry the football at least 20 times in this game. Does he get shut down? Like, hey, Kenny Clark's coming over. He's a good run defender. It doesn't matter. Like, that Eagles offensive line is nasty. They're expected to have the lead, which means extra running chances in the fourth quarter, which you saw so many times Saquon breaking long runs. How about his 93.5? How do we play that prop?
I don't mind that at all. And I would correlate that, Donnie, to his rushing attempts. 18.5. I'll take over. He averaged 22 a game last year in the regular season. As a matter of fact, he got at least 19 or more in 12 of his last 14 games, including the run through the Super Bowl. So, the Eagles being more than a touchdown favorite tells you they're likely playing from in front in this game. And if that's the case, Saquon left, Saquon right, Donnie, right? Give me the rushing attempts up and over here.
I did this quite a bit last year, Joe, and had some fun. Kenneth Gainwell is no longer with the Philadelphia Eagles. He was the backup running back. But you got to figure there's going to be like 2 to 3 of those carries. Will Shipley is a 12.5. Like, if this game gets out of hand in the fourth quarter, where the Eagles have like a 14-point lead, he's probably going to have 3 to 4 carries possibly in this game. Just need him to get a couple yards. And he showed in that junk time performances last year that he's able to get some of those yards. We'll see if it blows out. But I can't wait. Tonight, we're so close, people. It's Cowboys, it's Eagles. We're covering it. We're doing it all on the SportsGrid Network. It's Joe and Donnie, and we'll be back after this short break.
This is the moment every fan waits for. The countdown's over. The road to kickoff has begun.
Play is here to stay.
I'm not going to name names, Kevin.
From win totals to player props, from division races to MVP debates, we've got eyes on every camp and data feeding 24/7, breaking down every angle across the league. Every pick, every edge, every line that matters. SportsGrid. Your road to kickoff starts now.
Matthew Golden, one of my favorite prospects coming out of Texas. He had an incredible game against Arizona last year in the college football playoffs. Just, big touchdown after big touchdown, big moment after big moment. I loved him all year. And I was a little, skeptical at first, like, okay, well, it's kind of a crowded wide receiver room. And guess what? It's getting less crowded because everybody's hurt in Green Bay. Matthew Golden is the truth. He's the only guy healthy enough to play.
Fantasy sports today, only on SportsGrid.
Like it or not, 18-year-olds dropped with a heck of a lot of money in there. Boy, I tell you, it changes people, Donnie, and it's a new reality that we better get used to in college football because look at the kid from UCLA, former Tennessee quarterback, making millions of dollars. You really think he cares? They got absolutely embarrassed and trounced.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
Basically, their whole entire year is going to come down to the Ohio State game. I would be surprised if they were to lose any game leading up to that. So them to go undefeated is 12-1 in the regular season. That's a regular season play. So I think that's possible to go 12-0 at 12-1. To win the Big Ten championship, I think is a 9-1 play is a good number to take because if they're in the game, we can hedge off of it.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
Bringing that heat on a Thursday morning, an NFL Thursday morning. I can't say it enough, man. It just rolls right off the tongue, Joe. Philadelphia Eagles, Dallas Cowboys, week number 1, game number 1, Thursday night football to kick off your season. It is fantastic. We know what else is still going on, Joe? Major League Baseball, and that's what we're going to get to now. Big game in the afternoon. By the way, it is a 6-game card tonight. Some decent options here. Starts between Milwaukee and Philadelphia. Ranger Suarez, left-handed pitcher for the Philadelphia Phillies, going up against righty Freddie Peralta. The line in this game, -120s to -125s, depending on where you're shopping at, in a total of 7.5. If we look at the pitching matchup, I should say, over the past month, Ranger Suarez, a 4.10 ERA, but a low Sierra number, 3.55. But look at Freddie Peralta. His ERA over the past 30 days, Joe, 0.32 and a Sierra of 3.53. So analytically, the same. ERA-wise, they're not. Did the Phillies bounce back on offense today, or Milwaukee just continue their winning ways with Freddie on the mound?
I mean, Donnie, we haven't seen something like this at this point in the season in a while. We're talking about the best team in Major League Baseball record perspective, and I can argue altogether. They have a pitcher who, in the month of August, didn't allow a run. He hasn't allowed a run in his last 4 starts. That's 23 innings pitched. That is for those math at home that aren't, 0.00 ERA. That's the entire month. Are you kidding me? That is absolute. And why are we not talking about him for the National League Cy Young situation here? Listen, Suarez has actually hung in there while he worked out some of the kinks here for the Phils. So I don't think this is going to be a very high-scoring game. I feel like this is going to be playoff baseball. I think it's going to be much closer to a pitcher's duel than what we saw last night with all those runs. I'm willing to look at the under with these two guys on the mound.
How about yesterday, too? Christian Yelich got scratched in that game. Didn't matter. As I said, they played at 5 runs in the first inning off Aaron Nola, who usually takes an inning or two to get going and then settles in. You can't afford that, though, when you're playing good baseball teams. We'll see who wins this game today in Milwaukee. Slight favorite, as we said, for the Milwaukee Brewers. Game number 2, we'll talk about a 6:40 start from Pittsburgh. If you're struggling on offense, as the Dodgers did yesterday, they didn't play to run. They're going to get Paul Skeens today on the mound. Skeens probably going to win the NL Cy Young Award, but look at this price point here. You might be saying like, oh, Dodgers struggling. Skeens at home. Sign me up. Blake Snell's also been very, very good. Price point around a -120 to a -125, depending on where you're shopping at, in a total that's listed at 7. Last 30 days, Blake Snell, 2.54 ERA. Paul Skeens, 2.91. Both of these guys with elite xFIP numbers here. What gives in this game? I'll tell you right now, the expectation is not for runs, Joe.
No, the first run wins this game here. But why would the Dodgers be a favorite at PNC Park in this part? Like, you got to be kidding me here. They're on the verge of getting swept again, and now they've got Paul Skeens on the mound to go against here, and he has been absolutely, we know this, lights out at home here. And, I mean, call me crazy. It's not like Blake Snell hasn't been great also. So we got 2 dominant pitchers going at one another here. I no runs here. It's been a bet of mine all season long. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. The under in the first 5, it's down to 3.5 with Skeens at PNC Park. I do not trust the Dodger hitters to get to him. Also, what about Blake Snell and over 6.5 strikeouts, Donnie? Would it shock you if he gets double-digit Ks against this Pittsburgh lineup?
No, and they need him, man. They need him to go long. 6 innings, 7 innings, 8 innings if you can here to get this win, because you're trying to stay out of the Padres, who are struggling, but you yourself looking to snap back out of it. Got to beat the Pittsburgh Pirates, but a tall task sometimes beating Paul Skeens. Maybe just got to wait him out into the 5th, 6th, and 7th innings there and try to strike. Cleveland and Tampa. Sometimes just look at those games at Tampa and say, I don't care who's on the mound, just give me the over. You would have been correct last night. Tampa lit it up. Seattle did plate 4 runs in that game, an easy over. Today, it's going to be Logan Allen versus Ryan Pepio, 7:35 start. Total in this game opened up at 8. That's risen to 8.5. Again, I'm just going to take auto overs in that building. A price point here, though, for Tampa Bay, right around a -150, depending on where you're shopping at. Logan Allen's last 30 days, not very good, Joe. 6 ERA, high xFIP, high Sierra, and that Tampa Bay offense flies at home.
I mean, the hottest team in American League, well, really, and you could make the argument in Major League Baseball right now, guys, the Tampa Bay Rays. They're now above 500. They've won 6 straight, 9 of their last 11. And, oh, yeah, by the way, Donnie, they have 3 sweeps in the past 4 series. They swept the Cards, the Nats, and they just swept the Mariners here after they out-hit them 25-11. They outscored them in that series there. And by the way, what are they now? Within 2.5 games of the last American League wild card spot? Call me crazy. If it ain't broke, do not fix it. I am not fixing a team that can hit home runs in that ballpark versus a Guardians team that can't hit home runs. I'll lay it, the 1.5 with the Rays.
Junior Caminero coming straight to you. 40 bombs on the season. Let's take a look at the New York Yankees and the Houston Astros. A lot of runs scored yesterday. Do we get the same today? Rodon, the lefty on the mound, versus Christian Javier. A 7:40 start in H-Town. Total across the board at 8.5. But a favorite for the Yankees. Open up overnight, mid-130s. Still seeing most outlets here reporting in the mid-130s. Carlos Rodon over the past 30 days, Joe, 3.15 ERA. Christian Javier, 3.38. But those metrics are a little bit higher analytically. Do we get runs down there at, I don't know, Minute Maid, Enron, whatever they're calling it these days?
Wow, Enron, that was a blast from the past. Well done there. Listen, Rodon is on the mound. Javier has not exactly been sharp, still working some of the rust off. But the Yankees win Rodon's games. He has consistently been that guy that shows up when they need him the most. And they need him in this spot to wipe the stink off in a big way from what just happened last night. But I don't trust the Yankee bullpen. Do you trust the Houston bullpen? No. To me, this is all about the first 5. I'll lay it with the Yankees here. I expect them to get the Javier before the Astros get the Rodon.
We get a bounce back tonight for the Kansas City Royals. I mean, my goodness. They faced a pitcher yesterday, Joe, that had just all like the AAA starts, a 5 ERA, and came in and pitched extremely well. And they, talking about the Angels, beat the Kansas City Royals. Today, it's Hendricks versus Cameron, the lefty on the mound. Favorite for Kansas City, no surprise, between that 152 to 158 range, depending where you're shopping at. But a total that opened up at 8.5 that now sees 9. And I agree with that. Hendricks isn't a good pitcher. And Noah Cameron coming in here last 30 days, 4.33 ERA, 5.52 xFIP number. I think we might see runs tonight. I thought we'd get runs out of Kansas City last night. It didn't happen. I think they hit tonight.
Oh, they are just such a frustrating team. I mean, they've lost, 4 out of their last 5 games here now. They're on the verge of losing again to the Angels. Now, the only saving grace is that Cameron has been really good for them here. So my thought is, yes, I'd like to back them, but I'd also like to back them early. I saw 5 as a total in the first 5 here. Hendricks is awful, but can we really trust the Royals? Can.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go up and under the 5 in the first 5. Yeah, it's awful.
Sounds
just
like
awful.
1 of 7 for runners in scoring position at that point for the Kansas City Royals in this one. You want some, oh no, it's fall weather conditions? You come to the right place, and that's the Minnesota Twins taking on the Chicago White Sox. In Minnesota tonight, Joe, highs won't get out of the 60s, and there's rain in the forecast tonight. Total is at 8.5, minus 155 or so for Minnesota as a favorite. Taj Bradley hasn't been very good. Both of these teams can hit. But you want to talk about non-hitting environment tonight? You're probably getting it here. Let me just do one quick check, too, of where the wind is blowing. Oh, yeah, Joe. Wind's blowing in at 9 miles per hour. Good luck, Minnesota.
I really thought we were going to get it over last night, Donnie, and we almost did. We almost got it to extra innings. The White Sox almost blew that lead there. But now they're going for a season-high win streak and a series sweep against the Twins. Stop it. They can't do that. The team with the worst record in the American League? No. I will not be counting on a sweep here tonight. I'll give it to Minnesota to be able to get at least 1 here.
Oh, boy, Major League Baseball. Cam's coming up next to talk to us here. By the way, it's been good to catch up with Cam here to see what's going on, see his thoughts and processes here on betting the NFL, maybe some golf talk or interest here. You never know coming up, man. Cam gives us a lot of good topics. You're not going to want to miss the next segment as Cam Stewart, the Prime Minister, joins us here as we talk more NFL, college football, CFL football, golf, whatever's on the nameplate here. Make sure you stick around and join us here. We'll be right back after this short break.
This is the moment every fan waits for. The countdown's over. The road to kickoff has begun.
Play is here to stay.
I'm not going to name names, Kevin.
From win totals to player props, from division races to MVP debates, we've got eyes on every camp and data feeding 24/7, breaking down every angle across the league. Every pick, every edge, every line that matters. SportsGrid. Your road to kickoff starts now.
Matthew Golden, one of my favorite prospects coming out of Texas. He had an incredible game against Arizona last year in the college football playoffs. Just, big touchdown after big touchdown, big moment after big moment. I loved him all year, and I was a little, skeptical at first, like, okay, well, it's kind of a crowded wide receiver room. And guess what? It's getting less crowded because everybody's hurt in Green Bay. Matthew Golden is the truth. He's the only guy healthy enough to play.
Fantasy sports today, only on SportsGrid.
Like it or not, 18-year-olds dropped with a whole heck of a lot of money in there. Boy, I tell you, it changes people, Donnie, and it's a new reality that we better get used to in college football because look at the kid from UCLA, former Tennessee quarterback, making millions of dollars. You really think he cares? They got absolutely embarrassed and trounced.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Basically, their whole entire year is going to come down to the Ohio State game. I would be surprised if they were to lose any game leading up to that. So them to go undefeated is 12-1 in the regular season. That's a regular season play. So I think that's possible to go 12-0 at 12-1. To win the Big Ten championship, I think is a 9-1 play is a good number to take because if they're in the game, we can hedge off of it.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
We continue to roll on the early line on a Thursday, setting the table for your Sports Grid day, which includes a lot of great programming leading right up to the NFL start of the regular season between the Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm Donnie Rightside. He is Joe Ranieri, and we welcome in Cam Stewart on Thursdays here to keep the energy rolling here. I can't wait, Cam. It's a great time of the year, isn't it?
Fly, Eagle, fly, Donnie. You must be feeling good. You represent a great team. And I still think about that. Like, when I think about happy days in my life, I think about that Super Bowl and Philadelphia killing Kansas City and me breakdancing and my girlfriend going, finally, things are working out for you. Can we cash some tickets? Yeah, no, honestly, Donnie, that's like more of that. But tonight, a lot of points in this game. And we see steam. And you know the problem with the NFL? You guys know narratives. Oh, Dallas sucks. Right? We all know their defense isn't that great. They would have been good without Parsons. He goes to Green Bay. They're bad, but they can score points. That's the one thing. And this line is steamed to 8.5. I got to take the Cowboys, guys. I know the first week it's hard. You dip your toe in the water. You hope for the best. But I expect points in this game, too. I got to think if Dallas is from behind, Dak's got to open it up. His props seem pretty light. And just for a touchdown prop, guys, on one of my books, George Pickens is plus 240 for a touchdown. That's something that I'm looking at for the Dallas Cowboys. Maybe get him acclimated early. CeeDee Lamb could be doubled. But I see points, guys. I see the dog. I don't know how you guys feel. By the way, congratulations. Great baseball picks by you guys last night with the Jays run line and the over in Colorado. Rode your wave, and that was a good wave because I took Muzzatti plus 9.5 games in tennis, and he lost by 11. Ooh. Bad pick. But, Donnie, I got good news. Osaka at 18-1. Can we deliver at the U.S. Open? We got a lot of things going on. NFL, this is my favorite time of the year. Hockey's around the corner. Basketball's around the corner. And these idiots are still playing golf. What do they love more than anything? Money. Golfers love money. More, please. Yeah. They're in Ireland this week, so these guys never stop.
Let's start. By the way, Cam, let's start there, too, because the Philadelphia Eagles and the Dallas Cowboys tonight, 7.5's now starting to creep in through DraftKings, BetMGM 8.5, FanDuel 8.5. We'll see what happens, but we know you love yourself some golf here. And I asked you even, come on, is there even golf going on, Cam? There's some big names in a big tournament this weekend. Explain to us where we're going here with the golf.
Yeah, like this is the thing. We got the Ryder Cup around the corner. These guys actually, I was going to tell Joe, like, are we going to bet the Procore next week? It's like, guys, relax. Yeah, we just enjoy the NFL season. I'll meet you in Hawaii, in Kapalua. But no, these Europeans are going at it. And it's interesting this week, guys, because the Live guys have made the trip to the K Club in Ireland. I'm seeing Brooks Koepka there. I'm seeing a lot of Patrick Reed is there. Brooks Koepka's 80-1 now, guys. You want to talk about one player's move to Live that has made basically, for now, destroyed his career. It's Brooks Koepka. That was one of the moves like he should have stuck around, but you're seeing this guy who used to be one of the best players in the world at 80-1, but watch out for a guy from England, Marco Penge, 11-1. Donnie, Joe, I can't believe it. I was going through his numbers, and I'm like, is this guy for real? Because I watch, Joe knows, I watch a lot of golf. I got a lot of problems, but I just love golf, any type of golf. I bet kids mini putt. 8th, 6th, won the Danish Open, 2nd at the Genesis Scottish Open, T11 at the BMW International, and won the Hainan Classic. This guy, he came out of nowhere. He's a Brit, and people don't know. Marco Penge is one of the best young players on tour right now. And if you're following and paying attention, you can get good prices on him. Rory will be 4-1. He's 11. So that's a guy that I'm looking for. If you're looking for a bomb, John Perry at 30, he's in good form.
Have you made a futures bet on Bethpage Black and the Ryder Cup here, or what are you thinking, Cam? Because the odds are actually not as bad as I thought they were going to be.
What do you guys think? I'll tell you one thing. I know the Americans probably what is their thing, guys? You guys know it's singles. But one guy I'm not going to pick on from Britain is Tommy Fleetwood. I'll never forget back in the day, now that he's got the monkey off his back, this guy, when he was with Francesco Molinari, they were perfect. It was almost one of the best performances by a duo I've seen. They were great both in singles, and it was just like a match made in heaven. They were perfect for each other. That's a guy I don't screw around with, but in the States, they have so many beautiful options with Scotty Scheffler. You put him with one of his best friends, Sammy Burns. You can put him with a lot of different guys. But I'll tell you, I don't think it's going to be as crazy. Usually the Americans, when you're in the United States, just hammer these guys. But I see this Ryder Cup being a classic, and I see it being very, very close. There's a lot of underrated players in Europe, guys. I watch a lot of, as you know, I'm up in the morning watching European golf, and some of these guys are like, you don't hear about them on the other side of the world, but they're really, really good, like the Højgaard brothers, right, Joe? Like some of these guys that went over to the PGA Tour. They're very, very solid. So I think it's going to be close.
Yeah, by the way, take a look at some other options too. Like we talk about, Dallas and Philadelphia tonight. We're all eyes on that. But also, Cam, we got a Friday night football special in the NFL from Brazil. And if you remember anything last year, I keep bringing up, it was an ice skating rink, slippery conditions all over the field. The Kansas City Chiefs are a favorite over the Chargers. Any thoughts on that game for the people for tomorrow night on a Friday?
I lean Chiefs, and you're never going to see me do it. Like I don't bet the Chiefs very often. I actually have Denver to come out of that division with the wins. But I'll tell you this, guys. Donnie, you talked about it. I don't know, like these conditions, you're right. The footing is usually really poor. 46.5 might be a little bit too high. I'm looking at the under in this game. Maybe there's more defense, field position battle between these teams. They know each other really, really well. I lean Kansas City on the side. If it stays at 3, it should be, I think Kansas City probably wins by 3 or 4. I really want to take the Chargers, but it's not about what I want. It's about trying to win money, and I'm looking at the under 46.5, guys. I don't know how you feel, but the footing could be bad. We could have one of those more defensive style games.
It would seem, Cam, that if the weather is an issue, it's advantage Kansas City in this spot here, right? I mean, it would absolutely be advantage Kansas City. Listen, I know you're doing college football with Gabe on noon on Saturday. What are the chances we hear from Gabe if Michigan gets blown out by OU? Are we going to have to send out like an SOS, or what's going to happen here?
Big time. He's going to be raging. Like, you know what I mean? He needs Michigan this week. We all need something, right, guys? And I'll tell you, we got a couple good games. Honestly, Joe, like, it's one weekend, and I'm like, hey, I got Alabama under. Hey, I got Texas under. But it's a long season with these win totals. I'm not going to get too excited. I've seen this movie before, like when the Saints won their first 2 games last year, and I almost had a conniption. And if not for Saquon Barkley, they would have won their first 3 games when the Eagles, barely beat these guys. So, yeah. One game that I'm really looking forward to, we're on at noon Eastern. I like Iowa over Iowa State. I know Iowa State is the darlings with everybody. I will take Ferentz and the Hawkeyes in that spot. I know the Cyclones are great, but I've seen this movie before. That's one side I'm leading with, the Iowa Hawkeyes, guys.
There you go. Cam Stewart bringing the heat and the energy. We thank him so much for joining us on the early line as we kick off the NFL football season. As for Joe and Donnie, we'll be back after the break. Cam, once again, thank you, brother. We'll talk to you again soon.
The reason why I feel like Jared Goff doesn't really enter these MVP conversations. Jared Goff last year was on the team with the best record in football, threw for 4,700 yards, 37 touchdowns, and Tom was never in the race. He was never in the race because we know he's not that guy.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
There's no way you're going to have a team with 63 wins and 2 other teams with 55 and probably another 2 that are between 49 and 52. So there's got to be some pullback a little bit, right? Under 62.5 wins for the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Betting above the rim. Only on SportsGrid.
I was looking at it through my phone at first. I'm like, why is there such a delay? And why are we getting pitch hitters right away? Oh, the pitcher got thrown out for some reason. Maybe he hurt himself. But no, turning out and seeing a brawl was absolutely hilarious to let that one play out. Just the way it is sometimes in baseball. We don't get a lot of good fights and a lot of good brawls in anger, specifically from 2 teams that aren't going to the playoffs. So good on them for showing that moxie last time. But it's good to see a little bit of a brawl and a little bit of that passion here.
The early line. Only on SportsGrid.
The sharpest football contest show in the land, the Las Vegas Football Contest Show, focuses on Circus Sports Million, Circus Survivor, and the Westgate Super Contest, handicapping the games and releasing our contest picks every week of the season. With two former Super Contest winners, Brady Cannon and James Salinas, a former NFL player, Mike Pritchard, and over $1 million in contest prize money won combined, the Las Vegas Football Contest Show will have you prepared this season like none other.
Right back at it. What an awesome Thursday it's been. The energy has been extremely high, and why not? It's a kickoff to the NFL season. It's how we get down on the SportsGrid Network. It's Donnie Rightside, and it's Joe Ranier. The early line, it's what we do. Monday through Friday. You know the drill, people. It's the place to be to get your morning started. I think we do a pretty good job at doing that. But also, it's not just me and Joe talking. We like to reach out to the public at this time in the show and say, you know what, public? Which way are you going today? Go to X, follow our account at SportsGrid. We asked a simple question today because you know you're going to be geeked up on the NFL. What is your best bet tonight in Eagles versus Cowboys? Over, under, Eagles as a favorite, Cowboys as a dog. Pretty even slate, Joe. 33% said Eagles minus 8.5. 30% said Cowboys plus 8.5. 22% said over 47.5. Under at 15.2%, Joe. Looks good out here. And by the way, you know me, I voted for the Eagles minus 8.5. Blowout style tonight, Joe. Which way did you go in the poll?
Yeah, can't do that, Donnie. Can't side with the public in week one. Not gonna happen. Although they were extremely profitable last year, I think this year is a different year. I'm gonna go with the total, Donnie, because I don't see. I think if the Cowboys are gonna keep this within 8.5, this thing is getting closer to 50 or more points than anything else. So I have no problem. I think the offenses will have some success here tonight. Both of the defenses, they have some warts. They've got some things that can be exposed by both offenses, and I think that's what we get tonight. I think we get a ton of points.
Hey, a ton of points is what we like to see. That means a lot of people going over their props and scoring touchdowns here. We absolutely love to see that. But kickoff tonight, 8:15 p.m., live from the city of Brother. Boys to Men. We'll sing the national anthem tonight. Motown Philly, back again, baby. You know it. But you know what, Joe? The people love even more getting winners out here. We've been on an absolute tear, a hot streak. Here's Bye, Bye, Bye. Let's keep the vibes going, the mojo going, and the wins. More wins equals more wins, Joe. Where are we going tonight? Looks like Major League Baseball, huh?
Yeah, listen, if it ain't broke, Donnie, we ain't fixing it. We'll go back to the Diamond here tonight, and I am heading back to PNC Park, where the Dodgers and their feast or famine situation the last couple of weeks is hilarious. The worst game that you have to try to avoid being swept at PNC Park is going up against Paul Skeens, which is exactly what they've done. Listen, the guy's a 1.65 ERA at home. The only team he seems to have a problem with is the Brewers, which is not really a problem. I mean, he's even dealt at Coors Field and dominated, and I don't think he's going to have an issue here at all tonight, limiting this Dodgers lineup that just can't seem to get it together. But on the flip side, Blake Snell, the guy has been absolutely phenomenal since he's come off the IL. 2.54 ERA, 5 August starts. He has struck out 34 in 28 innings. He is going to strike out a lot of Pittsburgh Pirates. It's always been a bet, an automatic bet for me. Paul Skeens, under in the first 5, 3.5. I don't care. It is going to be maybe a 1-0 game heading into the 6th inning. Under in the first 5 for me.
How about that? Let's get after it, people. For me, I'm going to keep it simple. We're going to go to the NFL tonight. When you look at the Philadelphia Eagles, you say to yourself, I have Jalen Hurts, who if that ball is inside the 3-yard line, that's a rushing touchdown for him. And I have Saquon Barkley. If we're outside of the 3-yard line, anywhere on the field, that could be a home run target here. So I'm going to keep it simple. Bet 365 today's where I went. You know what, Joe? Eagles rushing touchdowns as a team over 1.5, listed at a minus 140 price. If the Eagles are expected by their team total to be around 28 points, that's 4 touchdowns. So that means 2 in the air and 2 on the ground. It just makes sense. Don't, oh no, split it up, Donnie. Take, Saquon Barkley, or take them both. Take them both. 2 rushing touchdowns out of Saquon Barkley. That cashes that ticket. 2 rushing touchdowns out of Jalen Hurts. That cashes that ticket. 1 apiece. It doesn't matter. How about a reverse to A.J. Brown as a rushing touchdown? That also counts as well. That's where I'm going tonight. Rushing touchdowns from the Philadelphia Eagles. Joe, how about that?
Get her done. I cannot believe football is back, Donnie. And the best part is we get another NFL game tomorrow, along with actually, and we'll talk tomorrow, I got a couple of college games I like tomorrow night, in fact.
Absolutely beautiful day here, setting the table. The NFL is back as we said it. Philadelphia Eagles, I'll be enjoying this, all the pregame festivities and basking in the glory of a 2024 Super Bowl championship. Maybe they go back-to-back in 2025. That'll do it for the show. For Donnie Rightside and Joe Ranieri, we'll be back bright and early tomorrow morning to recap everything from the Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles.